Hello, this is Sirena with Celestial Soul Wellness, and we're here to talk about the Aquarius full moon 2013. This is a blue moon. The second one is going to be a blue moon, so this is the first Aquarius full moon, and the second one will be in a month. Okay, this full moon is at 0 degrees Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign of humanitarian. Now, it contrasts, the sun has just come into Leo, which is all about me, the star, woohoo, look at me. But then the moon is thinking emotionally about others. So, of course, every full moon is an opposition, but it creates balance. So in this is when we're going to be using ourself to help the humanitarian. And when I say using ourself, it's not necessarily what can I do, but using our talents, our connections, because Leo has tons of connections. They're the star. They know everybody behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. Okay, they make things happen. And so they're going to use, this is the time we need to use those connections so that way we can help others. So if there's a situation going on, how can we find someone who can help us do better? If there's kids needing, clothes, who can we help to bring that about? Maybe a designer, or a lot of people who are getting rid of their clothes. Okay, and so we work together on that, and that's something very nice about Aquarius. This time to be careful, because our eyes are going to be with the heat, and if you dehydrate, our eyes can be it'll be pulling and weak, especially because we're going to be dealing with issues with the lungs and kidneys and liver. Okay, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. With the Aquarius moon, what's a really nice thing to do is, it's also called the thunder moon, just so you know, because a lot of times in the Midwest we would have that wonderful humid storms, and so with the thunder, being outdoors, camping, all that is great. Aquarius sign and Aquarians love the outdoors. They love nature. They love to be one with them. Very important, and this is the time to do that. Okay, very nice. A good thing to do on the full moon, Aquarius full moon, is a cleansing. Think about the things you want to get rid of in your emotional, psychological, physical closets. Okay, so let's say you have just way too many baseball bats in your garage. This is the time to clean that out and make room for others. Give those stuff to, the Goodwill, Salvation Army, the local YMCA Boys Club, or anybody who is needy and can appreciate that. That way too, when we have the new moon coming in for Leo in 2 weeks, you'll have room for new things to come about. But when you get rid of the old, give it to someone else, because one person's junk is another person's treasure. All right. Also, too, when you're doing it psychologically or emotionally, maybe you have things that you just haven't let go of. This is a full moon. Is always a good time to let go of those things. So a good ceremony to do is you have your altar. When you have an altar, what's very important is that you have things that are going to represent you, something you can relate to spiritually and connect with their soul. I have here, of course, my little Buddha statue. I really appreciate that, and it helps me focus, and it helps me to relax and meditate, and try and dream to be on the same plane as him as one day. I also have, for me, the sand dollar is very important because it represents the ocean for me to connect, not just with the universe, but also what's below us, and with the waters. And that's why I have my dolphins. After all, a lot of you guys know my name is Sirena, which means mermaid. And so for me it's very important. I also have my amethyst as a healer. I work a lot with amethyst, and I have them in the crystal form, which with the candle it warms up and emits more, the amethyst. And then I have my little amethyst ball that I actually wear when I heal. And I have my crystal ball too. Yes, I do have one of those. It's a wonderful gift. Just received it for my birthday. Thank you. And then I also have my pendulum, because I always want the positive energies around. And then a lot of times I have my oils also. And so whatever oil that I'm going to be using, I put it in there. And I have the oils here, and it's very good. This is a safe, by the way, this is a safe type of warmer, because it's not done with candles. It is done with a light bulb, just in case if those of you who have children at home or small pets and animals, you could use an electrical warmer as opposed to a candle one, and that is a very good idea and safe. So with your altar, you can do a full moon cleansing. And at this time, you put on a candle. You could do a bowl of water, and you put on a candle. Now, there's two ways you could do it. On a candle, on the floating candles, you could write the issue, the person, the situation that you hope to go away. And you just leave it there and burn. Another one is to write it on a piece of paper and put it over the candle. Now, if you're going to do this, please do it in a safe place, maybe a pot or with a pan. Okay. Do not do this at home by yourself, especially if you're under 18. That I just add that in there. Anyway, so from the candle, you're going to drop the paper on there, okay? And release what it is, and we'll go over a certain meditation in a second. The other one is to do tarot cards that represent that, and put it right there. Others actually will have a cheer, like invite a friend over, and you both do that. Put it on the altar there. What are the two things? And you toast to that. Usually with red wine being the full moon. Okay? So, I talked about a meditation. You're going to, when you do that, you ask for the divine creator of all that is. You reach yourself up to the universe, the whole white light. We've talked about this before, of passing through you and having gotten the energy going down to the earth and all the way back up and expanding as far as possible, okay? And remember, you're kind of using when you're not kind of, you are using your theta methods of when you're looking up at kind of like about 45 degrees and way out here, and you're imagining that light, and so you're connecting, and you ask for the reason why it is you want to rid yourself of that presence, of that issue. Okay, either it's relaxation, financial reasons, you want to start a new path. Okay, so for example, let's say that I have a thorn in my side, and so I reach out and I say, divine creator of all that is, it is commanded that you release this thorn in my side. And thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. And then you actually imagine that thorn being taken out, okay? And then anything that has been voided in your life, psychologically, emotionally, in your spirit, physically, needs to be filled, because otherwise you have a void, and that's how you get your black holes, okay? So then you fill it with the white light of the divine creator and of the universe, okay? And you just imagine unconditional beautiful, glorious white light just pouring down, like Niagara Falls pouring into that area, okay? And then you just, relax and into that for a few minutes and take your deep breaths. Remember, when you meditate, you're taking deep breaths into you at a count of 5, all the way into your stomach, your lower abdomen. You hold for 5, and you release for 5. That is the best way to do your meditations for your breathing process, so that way it slows down your heartbeat, it slows down your thinking process too, and helps mental clarity and to focus. Okay? So that's those are ideas that you can do for your full moon cleansing. Another full moon cleansing for the Aquarius is to, and you guys are going to laugh, knowing knew I was going to bring this up, is to go outside in the nighttime. The next three nights is the best time to do it. And to disrobe, be nude and one, and let the light of the full moon shine upon you. I will give you an example of that, but right now the moon is not shining up. It's not nighttime, so that way I can't offer that. But otherwise, perhaps another time. Just joking. So be one with nature, be there with the trees, and just feel open. And the natural light from the full moon actually cleanses us. It is an energetic cleansing and wipes away our negativity. Okay, what else is also affecting the 0 degrees full moon in Aquarius is that Mercury is going direct. this is the time now that you can buy your electronics. For the past 5 weeks, I've been saying hold off, okay? Hold off on those electronics, those printers, those cars. Be patient. Well, now, if you want to buy it, this is the time to do it. I also asked you to hold off on signing off on any contracts, because remember, Mercury retrograde, we have doubts and insecurities and things are unclear with the communication. Well, now, go ahead, sign up on all those contracts, all right? That's good to do because now it's clear. There's not going to be so much misunderstanding. Also, what's going on is we have a trine going on with Jupiter. We have Saturn and Neptune. They're all in water signs, so that's how come too we've been having a little bit of floods around the world, inundation, surprise sprinkling like we've had over here in California. Just some sprinkles, but it's been nice. So because they're all in water signs, they're big planets and they're pulling. It's creating a lot of emotional situations, especially with this full moon, because the full moon is an logical sign, but the moon does deal with emotions. So a lot of people feel that they're going to be logical, but they're really not, because they're getting the pull also from the other 3 planets, big planets too, in water signs. Okay. Also know that because of this, I mentioned before, you got to be careful with your lungs during this time, liver and infections. A lot of people who are getting sick recently in the past 2 weeks, and will this next 2 weeks after, it's going to be affecting the liver, lungs, and any kind of infection. So be careful. If you're a smoker, you might want to slow down, clean out those lungs, take a lung cleanser, a liver cleanser also. Okay, so those of you who've been doing a lot of partying, drinking, you might want to slow it down, because the full moon brings everything out to the surface. All right, so moving right along, we have also Mars and Jupiter are conjunct or right next to each other at 3 degrees Cancer. So that is really great, because Jupiter is pushing Mars. Mars wants to go forward. It has its passions, drives, okay, and it's in the Cancer sign, so it's all about the family there. Well, Jupiter is right there, hanging out with Mars, so it's pushing, it's saying, hey, anything you do, I got your blessing. I'm your fairy godfather, and let's make it happen. So that's a good thing, okay? Now, can too much of a good thing happen on the other side? Yes, because Venus just entered Virgo. So with Venus entering Virgo, we have the Sun in Leo. Venus is opposite of Neptune right now in Pisces. So the Sun wants attention. I'm in Leo. Look at me. I'm the star. Okay. Well, Venus being opposite of Neptune, Neptune is absence, way out there, and Venus is in love, which is in Virgo, which is about work and analyzing the neighborhood. So some people are going to feel a little bit ignored. They're going to feel an absence from their loved ones during this time, these next 2 weeks. Okay, don't take it personal. It's just, remember, the full moon is humanitarian. Venus is about working and about the neighborhood. And then Neptune is out there anyway, so in Pisces. So don't take it personal. If you're one of those people who are high maintenance, high attention, give yourself the love, give yourself that pat, okay? And don't expect it from other people. In fact, throw yourself in giving love instead of asking to receive it. And that way you will feel even more love. Really, philosophically speaking, it does help. Okay, moving right along, I want to bring up something very important. This is also going to be a little bit turbulent, a little bit stressed time, because we have Pluto that is in a cardinal sign, which is in Capricorn, and it is also opposite, creating a T-square, with Uranus, okay? And that is going to be with Mars. So we're having a pull there, okay? And a T-square with cardinal signs, each one wants its own thing to do, okay? And it's not going to happen. And because of that, Uranus, remember, Uranus, just joking. I'm still saying Uranus. Deal with it. Okay, Uranus thinks unexpected things happen. Mars is pushing, 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 okay? And then Pluto, deep psychological issues. So what does this mean in the cardinal signs? Yes, accident-prone situations, physical injuries, violence.